What's good, y'all? This is Let's Get It with Coach Los. I'm your host, Coach Los AC, certified life and relationship coach that helps people fix or find the relationships they want. And this podcast covers the best relationship advice, tools, and action steps to get the results you want in your personal, professional, and of course, love life. So I hope you get a lot of value from the episode. And if you do, as always, remember to like and subscribe so you can be notified when I drop new episodes. Let's get it. There's 3 crucial conversations couples need to have, but rarely do. Now, there can be more than these 3, but these 3 in particular cover a pretty big umbrella of different types of conversations that can fall into any of these categories. And just to be clear, a crucial conversation is a conversation between 1, 2, or more people to where the outcome of it has an impact on the people in the equation. Like what's been discussed and what that means and what the result is has a lot of weight in both people or all the people involved's lives, right? Where someone may walk away feeling really good about the situation or really bad, but it's a shift change, right? That's the point. So if you're not already having these type of convos with your partner, the first one you want to start having is, how do you handle setbacks and failure? Simply put, how do you handle it when times get tough? This type of conversation gives you and your partner great insight as to how you both process disappointments, how you react to challenges, and how you bounce back or rebuild after tough times. And the most important rebuilding times are in times of conflict between you and your partner, right? Not just the things you guys will face together as a couple, but the things you'll face towards each other with your different dynamics, right? And what really happens is this type of conversation gives you guys insight or reveals your emotional resilience that you both have, right? And whether or not your coping styles align or not, because that's extremely huge if you're going to sustain and work through the toughest times to keep on moving forward. If you're very different on polar ends of the spectrum as far as your coping methods and styles are, and not aren't able to make them complement each other versus always clashing, it's not going to work. Second, what does a typical day look like with us both retired together? This is a future-focused discussion about you guys' long-term compatibility, your shared goals, and what life looks like in a regular way operating together as a team. So pretty much after the dust is settled, right? After you guys are done doing the hustle bustle and there's more time just to focus on each other, it gives you insight as to how you both think towards how that process is going to be. And it gives you an idea of where your partner versus you sees the end of this road, this journey coming to. After you're done trying to build the things you're building and you're going out here and creating this and creating that, what's it lead to? It's all in light of what? What's the finish line you're looking to get to? And making sure you guys have the same finish line in mind, right? Or one that's really similar. And it's framed in the light of once we're retired, because oftentimes it's easy to think of all the great things we do with our vision and with our, shared goals and all that stuff when it's towards us building something because we're both excited about, accumulating more for ourselves in our lives. But what about whenever all those things that some people can see as distractions, things that takes your attention away from the you and your partner, and more so, hey, we're just collectively working towards this thing, which is about you guys, but it gives you a external focus point versus internal versus in-house as much versus the literal fundamentals of just being a team. Of course, if you're going to, accomplish shared goals together, you have to be a team for that. But it makes it a lot easier to shoot towards this goal. If you're like, oh, hey, you're here to help me get to the goal. That's great. But what about whenever we've achieved a lot of these things? How do we stay strong as a team going into our years past that, right? What's our foundation built on? So in reality, this kind of conversation gives you a sense of what is the foundation that we're working towards things on, built from, right? Is it from a, hey, it's us doing this together thing? Or is it, hey, you're here, you're a great asset to me going to go get this goal, but there's some artery things for us as a, relationship as a couple, is 2 people doing life together that aren't being addressed, but we're working well enough to go get the goal. There is a difference. In a conversation like this, doesn't get any better as to letting you know whether you guys' future vision for the life you want to build is on the same page and if it is aligned or if it's not, right? That way you're setting up realistic expectations for the future. Now, I'm always stressing, hey, we trade expectation for appreciation in our relationships. And you should really only expect things out of you and expect your partner to be human and be flawed. But expectation does not have to trade off for not still having standards. So if you have certain standards of the way your life experience needs to go and the place you're looking to get to and the results you want to have, then a conversation about how your partner sees their future and where they see things ending up is huge to knowing whether it's going to line up with your standards of the life you're looking to live and the results you want to get. And third, what's your relationship with boredom? This is a great conversation that shows how you and your partner handles downtime, monotony, and the absence of excitement. And this is very telling to see whether you require external validation, constant stimulation, or if you're at home and at peace in your own simplicity. And all three of those are very huge, because if you or your partner both require external validation often, then this is a huge red flag of some self-acceptance, maybe self-love issues that needs to be addressed if you guys are going to work for the long haul. Otherwise, if it's one of you in that kind of a position, the other one's not, then you automatically start putting more of a strain on the other person that they can never fulfill this validation that you need, right? Or if you both are that way, then now it becomes a codependent type of relationship dynamic that's just not healthy for anyone always. And then you have the part where it goes, well, if you require constant stimulation, maybe your personality sets for the long haul don't work. If one of you loves to be out and about and doing stuff all the time and the other person always wants to be at home, that's a compatibility disalignment right there, right? To where you guys can bump heads just as much as if one person is always content just being in their own space and they're at peace and the other person's like ready to bounce off the walls. It's going to cause some friction, right? Unless you can find a way to bring a healthy balance to the middle. But it's important to have these kind of conversations to make sure you are in that same boat or on the same page so that it doesn't become an issue down the road when you realize, wow, I feel like we're always on the go and I just want to sit down and stay still sometimes. Or I feel like we don't do anything and life's just so boring. A lot of life is spent in the in-between moments. A lot of our realities in the norm that we live in is from every small little moments and the little small details, the small habits, the small patterns that adds up to the big things, right? So a little secret piece in this kind of conversation also is telling as to what kind of track your partner's mentality's on. Are they someone that wants to grow in some of the more monotonous moments, find something to stimulate themselves towards their evolution? Or are they always being passive, never pushing towards something more, being ambitious, whatever the case is? This gives great insight to seeing how much self-development you and your partner are both into versus not, right? Are you aligned with that towards growth, or are you guys okay being more, just passive, maybe stagnant? And if that doesn't work for you, stagnation, and you have your partner saying things like, I just like to always just chill and I don't ever try to read a book. I don't ever try to pick up a hobby or build a new skill. This might be a flag to you that it may not make sense for the long haul. But maybe you come to find that you guys are locked in on the same frequencies and you love to just sit out to the pasture together, sit on the porch and watch dogs on the prairie or something. Whatever you like to do, you like it, I love it, but make sure they're aligned. If you need help weeding through these kind of conversations to make sure you and your partner are set up for a healthy foundation of a relationship that can last and stand the test of time, email or DM me the word coaching and we'll get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching or the time or the space for it, email or DM me the word revival to join my Relationship Revival Hub community where you can learn the same things I teach my clients one-on-one at your own pace on your own time. I do live weekly coaching in there with Q&A so I can answer your questions directly. I make customized content specifically to the questions you have in there as a member so I can give you exactly what you're looking to learn, on top of all of my courses and things that are there to teach you how to build the most effective and lights out relationship you can have, right? Conflict resolution, love languages, toxic habits that ruin relationships. Everything's loaded out in there for you to help you get the results you really want to get. Either way, get in the race. Let's get it.